You're listening to Nectar, sweet musings for your creative soul. And now your host, Stacey Maney.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining me. Today, I am so excited to share a conversation I just had with author Marguerite Rigoglioso. And Marguerite has a few books published, and she also is the teacher of sacred knowledge and the foremost authority on the history of the virgin birth. She has her own Seven Sisters Mystery School, where she teaches about Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary and how to really tune into our feminine power at this time of awakening on the planet. And so if you have any experience with Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, or even if there's curiosity, or if these female role models are calling you in any way, this interview has so much more information and some really important insights on Mother Mary's life and her journey. And I think they are so supportive for women at this time and anyone looking to make a difference on the planet and lead and live from a place of love. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. I know just reading this book feels like such a turning point in my life. And I cannot wait to see what unfolds now that I have this knowledge and these downloads of wisdom. Hello and welcome, Marguerite. It is so nice to have you here.
Thank you so much, Stacey. Great to be here.
Yeah. So today we are talking about your new book, which I have it here, The Secret Life of Mother Mary. And I have to tell you, this book has been like a turning point for me in my life. And I know we'll get into the details here in a moment, but before we begin, I just wanted to hear a little bit about you and the work that you're doing in the world.
Yeah, this has been quite an evolutionary road. I presently am the founder of Seven Sisters Mystery School, and I offer classes and cacao ceremonies and one-on-one guidance through that. And of course, I've been writing my books. That's my fourth book now, the most recent one, The Secret Life of Mother Mary. But I'm a practitioner myself, so I'm continually working in the realms of meditation, sacred medicine, to balance myself, heal myself, and pull through new information. And so I'm like a weave between the intellect and the intuition. I'm continually reading material, and then I'm reading material, from the Akashic records. So that's a little short story of what I'm doing. Of course, lately and really in the past decade, I've had quite a focus on Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene through the books, through the things I've been teaching. And so that's been very exciting.
Yeah, and so that actually was my next question. Why Mother Mary? Why Mary Magdalene? At this time on planet Earth, what is drawing you to them?
I was brought up Catholic, right? Then kind of left the church, but those figures were always sort of in the back of my mind. And then when I was in my 30s and I had my awakening to the goddess, the sacred feminine, I started learning about all these goddesses all over the world. And two of them were Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary. So that was a time when there was a lot of work about Mary Magdalene coming out, and I read that insatiably. I started creating my own slideshows and teaching about her. And then I went to graduate school at the California Institute of Integral Studies, and I moved out to California. And through those studies, I was introduced to mentors who were very much, these academic giants who were very much into Mother Mary and various versions of the Madonna. So that helped me sort of get into the more academic energy around Mother Mary. And then living in the Bay Area for 20 years, I started putting all of that together again in, as I was researching, I started researching into virgin birth. And of course, Mother Mary was intimately involved with that. So I did, all this research on Mother Divine Birth. I started teaching in the Bay Area, and I started getting invited to do more kind of sacramental ceremonies that also had the intellectual information. And so it's just been an evolving process, a weave over the decades. Um, and through that, I realized that, okay, these two Marys are not just academic or historical figures who are like interesting role models, but they literally are living presences,
Mm,
on the other side of the veil, so to speak. And you can work with them, contact them for your own personal healing as well as your own spiritual awakening. And so it's been all of that woven in together. It's a continuous path. As I, for example, after this interview, I'm going to be going onto my Marguerite Rigoglioso YouTube channel, and I'm going to be doing a lady cannabis ceremony. And the theme is Ascension Teachings from
mm,
the Marys. What is Ascension? What's that all about? And, I will be pulling through higher level information than I know cognitively through that from them. And this is part of my process.
mm. Yeah, I love that. And I love what you're doing because yeah, I was raised Catholic too, and I do love how they have so much more space for Mary than other. But yeah, it's what I've always felt is it felt more like this path that Mary and Jesus are on, and we are here to observe it. And
Hmm.
what I love about your work is I feel like it really is an invitation to not only observe it, but actually walk that path with them.
That's
And
right.
yeah, and be in like this co-creation with them.
Absolutely. Yeah, you really nailed it. And, first order of business often for people is getting the human level healing that we need from
Mhm.
a lot of the traumas that we've experienced in childhood and beyond, um, that kind of thing. So they very much are available for that personal level healing. And then for those of us who want to walk a more sacred path of love, of service to the healing of others, of the betterment of our planet, they're very much there, on many different levels to serve as those soulful mentors for us.
Yeah, I know I did one of your meditations with Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and I am still mind blown at their presence in my life after that. And yeah, I would love to have a whole separate conversation with you about Mary Magdalene.
Yes.
And in your book, you say like, yeah, Mary Magdalene is kind of the sexy one, and we're more familiar with her. And but then there's Mother Mary, and it's like to me, that's such a reflection of like our portrayal of moms.
Yeah.
And right now, it's like I just feel like it's so minimized
Yes.
and it's not sexy, you know. And
Right.
and yet there's so much power and healing in that mother energy. I always think of it as unconditional love. Uh,
Yes.
So yeah, we'll focus on Mother Mary today, but I would love to have a conversation about Mary Magdalene one day with you.
Sure. Absolutely. Happy to do that because
Yeah.
they worked
Mhm.
together at the time of Jesus, and they still do, I feel,
Mhm.
again, on the other side of the veil, so to speak. Um, yeah, I mean, and I don't know if you're referring to the meditation, one of the meditations that people can access for free through the book, but at the end of each chapter, I have journal questions as well as where you can get the specific meditation that's aligned with that chapter. So people have been signing up for those, really enjoying them, having direct experiences of Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene for
Mhm.
their healing, for their elevation. So yeah, you can go on and get the book and then have a lived experience right now,
Right.
going much further.
Yeah, no, I love that you're bringing that up. No, it was a completely separate meditation, but these
Nice.
meditations in the book are incredible. And when I first got this book, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read more about Mother Mary. And then like as soon as I was diving in, it was like, oh, this is a whole transformation
Yeah.
and personal experience. And I love that you created it that way because it is like, and you speak to that in the book, like Mary is it's all about your own experience and she'll meet you where you are.
Exactly. She'll meet you where you are. She'll help you with what you need. And if you want to raise your vibration, she'll help you with that too. She'll help you with your career. She'll help you with your real estate. I've had those stories in there about my own experiences of striking synchronicities that seem very much connected with Mother Mary.
Yeah. So maybe let's dive in for a minute about Mother Mary. What are, I don't know, some of the big things that you want to share with people about her that you kind of discovered in all of this research?
Yeah, well, one of the major things she is, and shall be, is a mother.
Mhm.
Yes. And first of all, no ordinary mother, but one who knew the mechanics of the Holy Womb mysteries so that she could deliberately conceive an avatar through special means in her body. So I talk about that in this book. And then I have a previous book, The Mystery Tradition of Miraculous Conception, which is all about Mother Mary's divine birth from her mother Anne, and then Mother Mary's upbringing and her training, and then her divine conception of Jesus, and how this was part of a whole planned and willed activity, not an all of a sudden, oh gosh, an angel is with me, let it be done according to thy will. No, it was, there was a lot more that went into it. So she was a major, major mother. And so but she was a woman who, through, the work that I've uncovered of Sri Kaleshwar, the Hindu saint, she's a woman who had many reincarnational lives, clearing and perfecting her soul and her womb powers lifetime after lifetime until she became the woman that we know of as Mother Mary and achieved her final unification with Mother Divine. And so that's the ascension process, right? So she was a master technician at ascension, master technician at birthing and divine birth, master technician at bringing the dead back to life, and resurrecting Jesus through her womb, according to Sri Kaleshwar. So that's all discussed in the book, as well as being a healer for people of their emotional and physical illnesses, a remover of negative influences and energies, a major, major teacher and mentor of the entire early, group that was around Jesus during and after his lifetime. Really, if you want to call her this, the first pope, if we want to give her that nomenclature, of course, I don't particularly, but she was the high priestess of all of them. And she was very, very respected. She was also a stepmother to Joseph's previous children by a previous partner. She was also essentially a mother-in-law and mentor to Mary Magdalene. All of these are things that I discuss in the book, The Secret Life of Mother Mary.
Yeah. And that alone is mind-blowing to me.
Right.
It's it feels like such a missing piece that I have sensed since I was a little girl. It's like you see Jesus on the cross, in Catholic Church, and then we had Mary on the side, which at least she was present.
I know.
But it's like,
Like in the corner alcove, over there. Oh yeah, she has her own little shrine, but it's not front and center.
right, yeah.
The matter is, she is front and center in this whole enterprise when you understand her actual role.
Yeah, and the fact that she's not some meek, like weak little woman who,
Yeah,
the angel comes to, that was actually part of the preparation.
that's right.
And I love how you speak to, which I did not know this, that she had a prayer, right, to help the world with the negativity she was sensing, and that Jesus was her answered prayer.
Yes, exactly. According to Sri Kaleshwar, right, the Hindu saint who lived for 36 short years, had his passage in 2012. Yes, she, of course, being a meditator, being an oracle, a channeler, she was in communion every day with the divine and Mother Divine. And she consulted Mother Divine, seeing the abject, horror that is beset upon the world. And she said, what can we do to change this? And at that time, she was told, well, you cannot physically take this on yourself because you are the feminine, you are part of nature. So you need to give birth to an other form of, as Sri Kaleshwar says it, Shiva, the masculine, who will then take on that role of the sacrifice, the one the one who will transmute these energies
Mhm.
through what he does in the lifetime. Of course, always in coordination with her and Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary's sister, which we
Mhm.
don't hear about, another Mary, because this was a priestess title, Mary. And so yes, she put out that plaintive prayer to Mother Divine, and this was the response she got. And then because she was a master of the womb mysteries, she was able to figure out how to quantumly work with the light matter interface and the biology, spirit interface to parthenogenetically, all by herself, conceive this child.
Yeah, it's like I have to take a breath there because it's beyond anything that I can imagine, and yet I feel that it resonates so deeply.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of makes sense of it all. Like we're brought up with these somewhat ridiculous sounding things that we're meant to believe,
Mhm.
no explanation,
Right.
and everything cut off of it that would help us understand what that was all about. And through my work on virgin birth over years prior to my writing about Mother Mary, I saw all of the symbols and codes and methods and everything in ancient Greece,
Mhm.
in the ancient Mediterranean world and beyond. There are stories of this all over the world. So I did a whole bunch of research into this and realized, oh, this is an entire priestesshood
Mhm.
alive and well on the planet in different periods. And Mother Mary was part of that in, her Hebrew lineage.
Mhm. Yeah. And so, well, so, the women that I typically work with are highly creative, highly intuitive, and it's like they're piecing together a map for this new earth that we're bringing in, and like they're not even sure what they're bringing in, but it's all from intuition and from their creativity, and I always encourage them to create from the womb space. I know you were talking about the womb a lot, and I really want to get your perspective on creativity and this womb space and what is available to us when we access that. A lot of women have trauma around that space, or they feel very cut off. I almost didn't want to call it womb-based creativity because I think a lot of women are just like really scared of that,
Yeah,
and for good reason. It's very mysterious, and there's a
right.
lot there for us. So how do we begin to access our womb space and really tune into that level of creativity and energy?
Well, apparently, according to Sri Kaleshwar, just the way Mother Mary did, which was through a series of mantras. This is one system, right? I think there are numerous ways and systems that can all puzzle piece together. But the practice of Mother Mary, according to Sri Kaleshwar, and which I describe in this book extensively, is a mantra-based process, essentially then originally from India. And these mantras, a mantra is a series of syllables,
Mhm.
each syllable of which is a sound, which is connected to an angelic frequency. So you put these syllables together in different types of mantras and different types of organizational patterns, and it's like having a song, do, 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 or a necklace that has, oh, different jewels versus that necklace over there, but this necklace has a certain vibration and that necklace has a certain vibration. So a mantra is like a necklace of vibrations that do things in the universe when you speak them, either out loud or in your inner chambers. And so Mother Mary was very much involved in that. She had an active prayer and mantra life. Um, and these mantras are intimately connected with the womb. They are womb clearers,
Mhm.
healers, and activators. And Sri Kaleshwar is my main teacher in this regard because I took and got certified to teach his holy womb chakra system. And it's all about this. It's all about also working with these sacred diagrams or drawings known as yantras that represent the woman's womb, that represent the cosmic womb. And you meditate on them, you look at them while you're doing the mantras and so forth. So this has these processes and understandings have a real transformative effect in your body, mind, spirit. And it's what I got involved in over a 3-month process. And, Kaleshwar says that Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene and Jesus use these practices. What it is it's unleashing your womb power, and
Mm,
that it is a tremendous creator power for what? Creating children, creating anything in the world, for healing others, healing people at a distance, for carrying amazing transmissions that people can feel when they're in your presence. And yes, it's related to the arts, it's related to manifestation, it's related to all these things. It really is the seat of the woman's power. And
mm,
that's why Kaleshwar said that a woman is actually more advanced than a man, and that male adepts know that they need to connect with the womb of the mother or the womb of the woman in order to really get their power. And that's what Tantra was all about, was to enable them to literally physically link up with the womb of a
mhm.
single woman, right? So this is just a little bit about what these teachings are. I teach them there. I describe more of this in The Secret Life of Mother Mary. And I'm sure you've got your own processes and practices. There are many things, from the physical to the emotional to the energetic. And um, what I've received is that, because when I've done some high level sacred medicines, I've seen, oh wow, that 3 months, that 101 days of purifications that I did through those 8 mantras really worked. I don't have a problem in my holy womb anymore. I'm
Mm,
working on other chakras now, but it was stunning.
mhm.
I really get the verification and the validation um, of this process and practice that the Marys and Jesus were using.
Mm, yeah, yeah, it's like it's empowerment, right? I can't think of any better empowerment than working with this energy and really reclaiming our ability to create and reclaiming our role as creatives right now.
Right. That's right. Putting the locus of your attention in your womb instead of in your head,
Mm,
the difference, right?
mhm,
And also, Sri Kaleshwar has a 2 mantra process for people to conceive a divine child, for a couple to conceive what he calls a divine child. So that's in these teachings as well. And it's it makes it open to everyone. It's not just Mother Mary or
mhm,
Mary Magdalene and Jesus to whom these processes were open, and for whom they are not the only ones who were capable of it. If
mhm.
you get into this stream again as just one stream of possibility of teachings and methods, you can do this, and you can conceive a higher vibrational child through this mantra practice with your partner.
Wow. Yeah. And just bringing that masculine energy into it too, that piece. And I love like, yeah, that's you speak to that in the book. It's like it's not this feminine overpowering the masculine. It's really these two coming into harmony with one another.
That's right. Even for the women who were not involved in tantric union,
Hmm.
but were involved in parthenogenetic union, they always needed a kind of a male ally or
Mm,
guardian. And they were told that these were their husbands, but they really weren't. Like Joseph wasn't really Mary's husband. He was her energetic guardian.
wow.
Her mother Anne had a partner named Joachim. He was really her guardian.
Mm,
Sarah, the companion of the biblical Abraham, was really not in a formal marriage, but he was her priestess guardian.
wow.
Okay. Elizabeth, the mother of John the Baptist, who conceived him miraculously, basically at the same time of Mother Mary, had Zechariah, who was basically her guardian protector. So these men were working it,
Yeah.
right, in tandem. This is like, if you will, an Essene project. That's one way to look at it, that they were part of the ancient Essene orders, these
Mm,
high-level mystics that were walking around the ancient world, taking part from pre-Judaic, part from Greek, going way back. They were at the foundation of all the esoteric teachings.
mm,
And that's what these people who walked the planet that we know of as Mary and Jesus and Magdalene, and the others were all about. It was a Christic, Sophianic mission.
Yeah.
Understand it that way, it takes it way out of the pedestrian, oh, fishers of men, and oh, healing that lady of her bleeding, and oh, these stupid people, da. No, there were levels of initiation that people could access and go through. And you read about this when you start reading the ancillary apocryphal, gospels, the suppressed gospels, the Gnostic gospels, you start realizing what they really were doing. And it's breathtakingly esoteric as well
Mhm.
as incredibly practically healing
Right.
for people.
Yeah, it's a reminder to me that we have access to this. This isn't some like fairy tale, right? Like
Oh,
we
in
can
right
step in.
now. That's why I feel like Sri Kaleshwar's work was such a bridge.
Hmm.
I talk about, my own deep emotional movement when I learned about these things from his teachers,
Yeah.
his students who are now teachers.
So one of the things I wanted to ask you too was, you said we talked about the womb and then there's the heart chakra. Can you speak to the connection between these two? I feel like myself included, like so many of the women that I work with and myself, we get like stuck in this heart chakra.
Yeah.
And it's almost like this is an initiation, this love, but then to go deeper into the womb and to really see how those two are connected to one another. I'm curious about your perspective on that.
In the Holy Womb Chakra teachings,
Hmm.
Kaleshwar is quoted as saying, the womb is nothing but prema, which is love.
Mm.
It has to be. It would never be able to be a creative force, portal, or energy
Mm.
without the love of Mother Divine, the love of the great cosmic mother. So women have that energy within them, that prema, that cosmic loving creativity that can bring
Wow.
forth children, that can bring forth projects, that can bring forth art,
Yeah.
is an act of love.
Yeah, I always say creativity is love in action.
That's exactly it. And there's really a figure eight that
Mhm.
unites the heart, the third chakra of will, and the womb. And you can visualize a golden thread figure eight going around those, either a singular thread or like a three-dimensional kind of um, what would you call it? Those things that have the time, the sands that go through the
Oh, the
hourglass,
hourglass.
hourglass kind of
Yeah.
thing. Okay. And you can link them up together.
Mm.
So you can bring heart energy into your third chakra and your womb. You can bring womb energy into your third chakra of will and your heart. You can bring will energy into your heart and your womb, but you're balancing it.
Mm-hmm.
Not one is not out of control or overactive or underactive.
Right.
So that's the Kundalini, like where we're weaving together all these chakras again, balancing them, having them work in harmony.
Yeah. And I love there's a meditation in your book where at one point you talk about bringing your head, your heart, and your womb together and like living from that space and the profound shift that happens in your life. Like I can say from experience, to me, it's like, it's not like, oh, I'm there and I'm going to stay there forever. It's this constant return to that space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Falling in love again and again, as a teacher of mine that recently said, yeah, returning again and again, because being in 3D, even they had it. I mean, look what happened to them. Holy gosh.
Mhm.
And they had a lot of issues come upon them, and they had to keep returning again and again to their practices, their abilities, their their love, their philosophical understandings. It's not easy.
Mhm. Yeah. So what do you think if Mother Mary, well, she is very much alive today, right? I love that you speak to that. What
Yeah.
message do you think she would have? Let's say specifically for women, for creative women
Yeah.
who have something on their heart within them, this vision they want to bring to life right now in the world. What do you think Mother Mary would tell them?
Yeah, let me just connect in a little bit here.
Okay.
I get a sense that she offers us her loving excitement. She's so happy for this bubbling up, this reawakening of the women, because she always was a champion of women, as I discuss in the book, and people can see the living evidence of that historically. And so, of course, she's all about that. And I sense her saying, I'm here and available in whatever way you wish to call on me, to help you. And I'm also uh, just supporting you uh, from afar, whether you bring me into your life in a closer way or not. And keep going, keep doing what you're doing. This is the manifestation of the advent of Jesus, and all of us on the planet. And you are this second and third and fourth and fifth and infinite coming.
Mm.
So keep doing what brings you excitement, joy, fascination. And remember that we, as energies, as consciousness, are here to help you at any time.
Mm.
That's what I connect in with when I feel her around
Mhm.
that question.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
excitement, a lot of excitement, because they need us, like they did a lot of the hoofing 2,000 years ago. I mean, I am somebody who does believe they walk the planet. And
Mhm.
I believe that they incarnate as something of a group again and again on the planet and in different cultures and things like that. It doesn't diminish their earth walk as Jesus, Mary, and the Marys. It's more just like it's a renewal, it's a refreshment, it's a reincarnational schema that needs to happen again and again and again to help the earth plane as it goes through its travails, its awakening,
Mm.
Um, but there's something particularly amazing about this time and our connectivity and what we're doing and what we're awakening to that is quite remarkable. And it's almost like the fruit is being born now.
Mm. Yeah. What do you think it is that we're awakening to right now?
The understanding of the vastness of and the multidimensionality of the universe.
Mm.
And therefore our infinite powers within that universe, both as third and fourth dimensional beings and beyond. There are, mysteries nested within mysteries. And a lot of us are starting to awaken to that and are having experiences of oneness with the divine or
Mm.
entry into other dimensional realities. And suddenly we see our whole earth walk in a different way.
Mhm.
So it's a reawakening of our healing powers, our creative powers, and it's the further evolution of our souls
Yeah.
on our own long trajectory.
Yeah, I keep hearing this question, so I'll ask you, how, as we work with all this energy, and I feel that all of that, I feel like we're these channels to anchor this unconditional love to the planet right now. How do we support our physical bodies in that process? Like, how do you support your physical body when you're bringing in these like really high frequencies
Yeah.
and next level energy?
Yeah. Well, yeah, love is the source, roadway, and goal. That's what we want to remember. And the cultivation of love within, the transmitting of love to others is a big part of the nourishment. Like it literally can be a part of a healing physical nourishment for
Mhm.
ourselves. So every morning connecting with your heart, seeing it as a source point of Divine Mother, and that there are petals like the 12, it's a seed of life imagery, that
Mm.
feel yourself pulling out that love, but really feeling the emotion of love by connecting in with something you love, something you've loved in the past or present. Could be a pet, a vista, a
Mm.
flower, a, a relative, whatever it is, partner. And you just keep radiating that out. That's like a bath for your body, mind, spirit.
Mm.
So getting into those states every day and um, calming the mind through the breathing and the meditation,
Mhm.
part of that, or that could be the prelude to the heart math aspect. Yeah, being able to really breathe and relax as much as possible. That's very nourishing. Coming
Mhm.
back again and again if we're starting to get wigged out. Of course, all the basics: walking, stretching, eating properly, drinking properly, um, accessing, all of the wonderful superfoods now that we're finding out about, eating in a balanced way, trying
Mhm.
to keep toxins, to a minimum, replacing um, pharmaceutical or alcoholic types of alterings with other things like cacao, like other medicines that are available to open our consciousness or help us get into the love state or see the bigger picture. So all of those kinds of things, the basics:
Mhm.
exercise, fresh air, being out in nature in beautiful spots, really soaking it in. Let
Mhm.
those let those ions come into your body. Try to mentally, energetically connect with the spirits of the place or the plants or the trees.
Yeah.
Opening your psychic channels through various means, practices, medicines, and those kinds of things.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that you speak to in this book too, the way that Mary is connected to the earth. And yeah, I feel that so deeply that it was this connection to the earth that ultimately brought me back to God, back to this universal life force energy. And it was through the feminine, and it was through experiencing nature and those kinds of experiences.
Absolutely critical. Like one of the most surprising things in this research was when I realized, oh, Mother Mary can be connected to the fairy realms. And
Mhm.
moreover, she actually is. And that was through various researches, like even into the medieval times and the
Mhm.
Renaissance, where every single flower known to humanity had an association with Mother Mary. I was like I had to start opening my mind and realizing, what am I looking at here? What is that?
Right.
And then realizing from the oracle space, oh my gosh, it's talking about her as a fairy. It's talking about her as a nature spirit. In fact, recently I was in a cathedral that Mary, Queen of the Worlds, up in Montreal. And I was just like, Mother Mary, why do I just feel flat in here? And she's like, because I don't dwell in cathedrals. She said, I dwell out in your yard.
Mm,
I'm like, oh, right.
yeah, yeah.
So it's what my work is doing, as it turns out, is weaving together everything. And Mother Mary was a temple weaver. And
Mhm.
so I'm starting to understand what that was. It wasn't just about her creating fabrics. She was weaving all right, but it was like on a quantum kind of level. She was bringing together what had been torn asunder in these traumas and cataclysms that have beset, the earth plane and the human race.
Mhm.
And so I loved how it was like a Hindu saint who kind of returned Mother Mary to me in a bigger way than ever before. And
Right.
how I realized she's connected with the fairies, and she's connected with even these fantastical beings that we would say are completely unreal, like unicorns, but there's a whole tradition
Mm-hmm.
in medieval and early Renaissance Europe of Mother Mary with the unicorn. What's that about? Let's open that with our oracle eyes and open the curtains. Oh my gosh, look at what's in there. Eden.
Yeah.
The real meaning of Eden. That is, Mother Mary is the governor of that. And so it's these kinds of unfolding mysteries and these kinds of weavings together that make this an endless project. This is an endless tapestry that we're all involved in. I'm not the only one. I've maybe suggested some interesting ideas, but lots of people have been either already doing this, or that then once they hear this, they start getting very, very activated. And that's why I have my own priestess training coming up, the Mary and Magdalene priestess training, which we can talk about, which is an opportunity for people to have a grand weaving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because we are bringing it all together into unity. That's part of the Christos Sophia mission. And bringing ourselves together, our torn parts, our torn masculine and feminine, our torn human and divine, our torn animal and spirit, our torn human and animal. All these things are coming together now.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you speak more to your priestess training in the school?
Yeah, so it's the Mary and Magdalene Priestess Training. It starts September 10th, 2024. We will continue enrollment through that time, and actually through the month of September. And this is going to be an opportunity for people to understand what the Mary Priestess is, what the Magdalene Priestess is, that these are titles, what they involve, and to begin to incorporate these in our lives, either for the first time or more deeply. What are the qualities of the Mary? What are the qualities of the Magdalene? How do we integrate this into our life, our family life, our professional life, our sacred life, that kind of thing. There'll be some initiations that we go through, Gnostic initiations. There will be some work, very light level, with like Mama Cacao to help as a sacrament, to help open the consciousness. And it's going to be a process. Like each month, we're focusing on a different thing. So there's going to be a month where we focus on Mother Mary's connection with the seven sisters of the Pleiades as star mothers of our seeders of the human race. All those mysteries. Mother Mary's connection, Mary Magdalene's connection as guardian watchtower of humanity. What is that? How do we become that? Or how do we amplify what we're already doing? The connection again with the fairies, with the dragons as real things, that are encoded in indigenous traditions all over the world. They're not like fake, stuffed animal realities. Okay.
Right.
The unicorn, what's that all about? Opening us back up to Eden. And then, of course, the personal healing, the heart activation and opening, the development of the light cloak that's intrinsic to us, the connection with our Sophia wisdom, because these women are based in Sophia knowledge. So it's going to be a wonderful journey, adventure of joy, fascination, practicality. People will learn a new way of doing hands-on healings, the anointing of the sick, doing baptisms for self and others. What is baptism? It's not just a thing to make a kid cry, what is anointing? Okay, how is this getting us to our next level of our soul's evolution? And be of service in the planet, be it just sitting there and being an emanation of love to your family, or be it being out there like you are, and many people are, in whatever way fits them. And there will be a process of discovery for everybody in this training as well.
Yeah, no, I see when you share all that, I see like keys, like just kind of opening up. you know?
Absolutely. Each one is another treasure chest,
Yes.
or another door to another whole reality. But this is about our awakening, our joyful awakening. And as you mentioned, the co-creation of this new earth, a simultaneous coexisting reality in the third dimension that does not have to be taken down by all the stuff that's been put upon us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I see I see it crumbling, but then this rising up. But it's more like it's not like a skyscraper. It's like a tree growing from it
That's
all.
right. Organically.
Yeah.
It's, my friend David Todd a couple of years ago said, it's the time of the great destruction and the great rebirth at the same time.
Yes.
Like we are in it. Like, oh my gosh, what am I going to focus on today? Is it
Yeah.
crumbling or is it rebirthing?
Right. Am I taking something down or am I putting something together?
Right. Or am I being taken down or am I being put together? So because a lot of people are having our breakdowns, which are really breakthroughs right now. It's like anybody who has emotional material, which is most of us,
Mhm.
is feeling it right
Yeah.
now. And that's why the Marys are here. They are such helpers. I mean, I pray with them, I meditate with them, I go into medicine ceremonies with them. Um, and they help me personally get back on the rail when
Mhm.
I've come off,
Yeah.
which, it's like you're saying, it's a daily process, really.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess the final thing I'll say is, you somewhere in this book or a meditation, you speak to wrapping this blue energy of Mother Mary, like this cloak, right? Just kind of around any part of your life that needs a little extra love or transformation. And I've been working with that since, and it really has made a difference. And just like imagining this just really beautiful mother embrace around yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That mother embrace is something that we never get over needing, no matter
Hmm.
how old we are. And in fact, as we get older and sometimes feel more and more vulnerable, we need it even more.
Yeah.
And yes, that blue cloak, it came to me again recently. I
Mhm.
had it activated in a medicine ceremony, and I'm like, oh, wow, the blue cloak again, Um,
Right.
and it really is a strong vibration of Mother Mary.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so grateful for you and for this work. And yeah, this book is a revelation. It's like
Um,
a drink of water in a desert right now for me. It's just, I want this be required reading for so many of the women in my life and some of the men.
that's
And
a great
yeah,
Christmas present, right?
oh, yeah,
Or birthday present, because it's very readable. Some people read it in a day.
yeah,
They're telling me, oh, I read this yesterday. And I'm like, wow, because there's intense stuff in there. But the thing is, it's all meant to go down with a spoonful of honey.
yes,
Wrote
yeah.
it in such a way that it wasn't onerous for people to take it in.
Yeah, no, it took me a while because I was savoring it. I was like,
Yes.
I wanted to be with every page because it was just each page was like a new unlocking. So,
That's so wonderful to hear because, as a writer, as a teacher, you work away in your little domain and
right.
you can feel its power, but you just never know
Yeah.
how. And I've been delighted by the response to this book. Things like what you're saying, and
Mm.
some people are like sleeping with it under their pillow, putting it on their body
Mm.
because they sense that it carries this transmission, of the blue ray of Mother Mary. And
Right.
so why not? Whatever works.
Yeah. Yeah. So if for anybody listening, if this is calling to you, I'll have links to everything you talked about. And this book is available now. And yeah, I mean, even like if you want to get a group of friends and read it together, like this would be so fun to go through
Oh,
with a group.
great book group thing. Great,
Yes.
women's circle activity. Yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you so much. I hope we have many more conversations. And there's like so many other things I want to talk to you
I'm
about.
sure we will. Thank you, Stacy. I'd be happy to do that. So I know that we'll be in touch.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so check everything out, guys, and we're here for you if you need anything else. And thank you so much, Marguerite.
You're welcome. Thank you, Stacy, and bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Nectar. Go to stacymaney.com and subscribe to get show updates, opportunities to go deeper, and inspiration sent straight to your inbox.